Yo, 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 how we doing? How we doing on this fine Sunday evening, everybody? What's up, Kelly B? Dying away? I hope you're having a good weekend so far. Okay, let me quickly just get all not story stuff, but the, perfect. SoundCloud stuff ready. Okay. Perfect. This goes in the front though. Bam. Alright, I think we're ready to go. Yo, what's up, Bowtie? I don't think I've seen your name before. Let's go. I think I got your ID though. You should be good. Alright, with that being said, let's get going. Let's go going. I'm like in a good mood right now, so I'm ready to just start it up. Alright. Starting off with a Kelly B tune.
Running back and forward cause I'm causing you heartache. Thinking I could leave you any second of night. Never been the one to be, I'm wishing I closed off. Maybe cause it's feeling so right. I wanna ride with you in the morning. I let alone
Need to have some paper.
I want this ride to make it alright. Let's make this night the time.
Nice. Very nice. I mean, like, rhythms and everything I think are really good here. It'd maybe be cool to hear some more panning in the perks, but I gotta listen for it specifically. Yeah, I think this is a sort of recurring theme with your production, and maybe it's just something that you don't want to do. But I think you have so much room to do more accents on most of your drums, and I think it's something that seems like a do it later thing. Could it be? I think I did. I will check in a bit though. But like you don't add a ton of accents that are like stick out, if that makes sense. Like if they're there, it kind of just sounds like a part of the drum as in its own way. But it'd be cool to have more of these like panning accents, even if they're not rhythmically in their own unique spot, just for the pattern that you already have. I think it will really help elevate the drums as a whole, and it will make the pattern that you have just feel much more unique, even if it isn't. Need to put some more effort into the drums. Yeah, because I think the bass line is good, but it doesn't have that it factor. Like, if you played me this drum loop on its own, I would have no idea who necessarily made it. Otherwise, this is all kind of just okay, but I would like to see you also flesh out the breaks for your melodic stuff more. Because you've got like I know you've sent me a huge, like a loads of IDs that have like really good drops. But I don't get to hear that many of them again in like more fleshed out versions. And if that's just not what you want to focus on right now, that's fine. But it would be nice to hear more development, because that is a really difficult thing to like get, especially melodic break stuff, fleshed out and nice. At least I find that it's hard to finish that type of stuff, and it requires a lot of focus in its own skill set of like where are we adding things, where are we taking things away, how are we arranging things to make the breaks exciting without taking away energy from the drop or anything. But I don't really have more to comment on than that. You just need to finish stuff. Yeah, I feel you. Alright, next up, Walkus. Data that crashed while I was working can no longer be opened. F. Okay, well this one is like the end of the road for it, but I'm excited to hear what it's like. I think, like, obviously this is all with the grain of salt that, like, this project is no longer accessible, but I'd say going back, I think the kick definitely feels too underplayed. Because, like, it's not really boom, it's like, wow, it's like, wow. Like, you feel that there's, like, something here, but it's not really boom. It's more like, boom. So, that would be probably nice. I forgot how goated everyone is here. Yeah, people are really crazy. And sometimes I really do get a little bit of imposter syndrome where I'm like, why am I the one giving the feedback up here? Like surely I don't have the chops. But generally, I think there's something to be said for just asking people who are just outside of, like, on different skill brackets. And this isn't me trying to demean my own skill here. I'm just saying, in general, I think it is useful to ask lots of different people for feedback because you will get different kinds of responses. And different people will chip in on different things. Like, it's still good to know from somebody who has zero idea of music, like, what do they think? Because people who hopefully are going to listen to your music when it's done are actually not gonna have any idea. They're just gonna be like, yeah, I like it when this big boom boom thing happens, or when it gets really loud, or whatever, right? And that's very useful to know. Professor Kyokon, oh shit, we gotta do a stream one day where I just come in like full like lab coat or whatever to give the feedback. I feel like it'd be kind of fire. Yeah, for this I like the build up and everything. I kind of wish there was more like hats or something, or like in between drums. Because I feel like you have room for the like to anticipate what would be like a really crazy, like, you know, waka style 4 on the floor kick pattern. But I like this idea of like this long drawn out pre-drop where you just get to feel like the side chain and everything, and then it goes into then we go into typical waka style. But up to you. If you wanted to add that later, you probably still could. Waka plus collab, that would be crazy. Yo, what's up, Dirty Octopus? We got the whole gang in here. Otherwise here, I think for your style as well, it would be cool to have some like train atmospheres or like some city style stuff. Because it will also help distinguish space-wise this section from this. And also give a little bit of that like real world feeling. Well, not even kind of. It will add that real world feeling into the breaks, which will then feel like we're coming out of it and stepping into some new dimension with the drop. Cooked with one arm. What is this? Bro sent a playlist. Alright, we'll do the first one now, and then afterwards we'll do the second one.
You will receive a more complete report as soon as possible, sir. What we can tell you right now is that his platoon came under sniper fire. And it was an instant death.
Okay, this, funnily enough, this sounds to me much more like an 80s tune than it does like Midwest emo, but I like it. The thing that is confusing to me is the drum pattern, because it just feels like fills when I feel like this should be a fill that then drops into like a and then like actually have like a continuous melody going in here, whether that would be a vocal or like a guitar line. But overall, I like it. I don't know, Chad, what do you think? And drop when we got teased? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, though, is it feels like drum-wise, the way it's arranged, like it's supposed to go into a chorus here, not a drop. So yeah, we're really waiting for like more drums here, but otherwise the vibes are good.
As soon as platoon came under sniper.
I think the drums feel a little unplayed, if that makes sense.
Fire.
Or not, like, not recorded.
And it was an instant death.
It's especially there's like da da da, which just feels quite quantized and doesn't feel like somebody strummed it on a guitar. I mean, maybe you did, but I would see about how you can move away from that, either with like the way the notes are being played, like playing around a lot more with velocity. I'm assuming this is done with a VST because it just has a sound to it, or like all the notes are kind of, it feels the same every time. It's like, this sounds good. It's just this.
And it was an instant death.
This da da da. Definitely like having the notes either be more distinctly like da da da, where the starts of the notes are like strummed up or down, or they could just be placed separately from each other. So like even if a top note and the bottom note aren't like going and strummed in a particular direction, just having them all offset from each other for each time that it gets played will make a huge difference to how it feels. But I really like this. I would really love to hear you finish this style and maybe go into your like neurofunk direction with this, because this would be a really, really cool fusion for something neuro, is to have this style of opening, and then if you can find a way to transition into that, it'd be super, super cool. We got a Rexo back with the ID. Bass house better than Complextro for real. Wow. Just throwing Complextro right under the bus. Unlucky. Alright, let's go. Cypher blends this kind of stuff well with bass music. Anyway, I'm pretty sure you submitted. Yeah. The one chord though. Is it? Oh, it's not coming again. Submit Musek? Yeah. Ooh, this is cool. I mean, okay. I think the biggest overarching feel I have from this is like there's no real motif for the song. Like you have the da 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 da, like the melody, and that's actually fine. I think it's actually a solid enough melody. But there's like no further vibe for the song, if that makes sense. Like there's no, to me, like atmosphere or like environment that I feel like I get placed in. Because if you listen to the breaks, it's like a Reese bass and drums, and that's it. And sometimes it's fine, but it feels like these drums are kind of, they don't have enough color in their own right to give you an atmosphere. I think one of the best examples of creating an atmosphere and a vibe, and like with drums specifically, is Sunflower, the one with Sway Lee and Post Malone. That song, if you just listen to the drums, you immediately know what song that's from, and you know exactly the vibe that's coming for you. It's that, like it has such a distinct vibe just from the sample selection of the drums. And I think if you want to do bass house like this, where there's like not necessarily like a harmonic focus, right? It's not like a melodic tune, which it doesn't have to be, but it feels like this isn't like grounded in something that I can like see. Like I don't see an image for this, or like have some sort of idea of like what I'm supposed to feel. It's just kind of like bass house as like a concept, but not this song by Orexo. So I would say if you can figure out what that is, and either that means layering more stuff, swapping out the drums, and like you can even keep these drums, but then layer some really weird stuff on top of these drums so that the drums have like a character and a style. Like if you figure out a way to take this whole idea and stylize it in one particular way, whatever references for songs or artists you have, pick one more that's kind of, that you really like, but that's distinctly different from what you already have in here, that you think might work, obviously, and then try to go for that style. Like copy an artist's style and see where that gets you. Because you'll never be able to one-for-one copy the vibes anyway, but you'll hopefully get something that's a lot more, has a much more clear and the words are only coming to me in German. That's kind of goofy. But like explicit identity, I think, is what I'm looking for. The other thing is, I think when we come to the drop here, like especially here, these basses are good, but this like dum bum 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 bum, I think everything feels a bit thin and it needs much more distortion and color. And some of that is like, you could probably use a little bit of automation to get more movement, or use stuff like distortion. Also consider using, before your distortion or after your distortion, stuff like phasers or flangers to get more movement out of these basses, to get also a little bit of like phasey stuff going on in the basses that you then distort on top of to give it more of a character. And that's really something that you have then so much room to play with, to dial in a bass and make it your own. Even if you're working with a preset, that's like one of the easiest ways to immediately give it some new character, is add a phaser and then add like 2 or 3 distortions after it with their own, you know, individual settings, and you already have a bunch of buttons that you can press, and you could map them onto macros and just move them around until you get something you really like. But yeah, definitely like looking for the motif, the identity of a song is where I would point you to first. True Papi Munyanya. Sorry if I'm laughing, if this is your name, but I can't read it. True Papi Munyanya. Yanyo. That's crazy. Kuaga. I'm very curious now. Oh wait, Alexa was sending stuff in the chat. Should I distort the lead more? I was going for mostly Julian Jordan style. Yeah, I definitely hear that. I think definitely distort it more. Yeah, Hayes would say distort it more. What I meant by color is like, one, I think probably in your tune you're missing some mids here for the basses. Because it just feels like sub and then high end. And I'm missing that like the mids where it's got like that richness to it harmonically. Tyga remix of this track is so good. Chupapi doing no music. But yeah. If you're going for a Julian Jordan style, try also like mimicking the Julian Jordan style breaks. Because like to me, for going back to this Orexo track, it's like this Reese is like not enough to give me identity. You need to add atmospheres that are unique or have some sort of combination instead of vibe. Because to me, a Reese bass is like, we need bass here and we need to fill the space somehow, and that's can be fine, but it's not a song on its own. Like here, all we have to go off of really is a Reese bass and a shaker. And if it was like a really distinct Reese bass that, you know, is kind of like very unique, all good. But this, I feel like, is just something you pulled out of a preset bank and like low cut it, and then you were like, okay, cool, let's move on. Which maybe it's just because I'm a music producer, but it just doesn't give me much to go off of. All right, let's go back to this. Is this like future bounce, kawaii bounce style thing? It's so loud. I'm gonna see about your track bow tie. Oh, why is it so... Alright, we'll do it next. This is super cool though. Nice chords. Okay. I see the comments, by the way, about like the melody maybe being from Brooke's song. If it is, that makes sense. It's a good melody, so I wouldn't be surprised. But it doesn't really bother me one way or another. As far as things I could comment on, I think the biggest one is the drop mix feels super far away. Like I don't know what it is, but it just feels like it has a bit this feeling like it was like it was played out live and then recorded, and that's the mix, which, you know, to me is like, if you compare it to like I'm not even sure why it is though. Like, I can't really get a grasp of like why it feels so far away, but it feels like it's not close. I think a big part of it is the drums, which definitely aren't coming through in the mix enough. They feel like they're being kind of squashed. So I would definitely take a look at like the clap, for example. Because like there's one clap that comes through fine, and then the other one is like really it's technically there, but it doesn't feel like it's hitting. And also the kick. Like, it has a long thump, which you feel, but the transient of the kick doesn't feel like it exists below or like above 400 hertz. So I definitely look at layering a transient onto this kick so that you get a little bit more of that perceptible part of the transient. Because especially if you listen to this on like a phone, you're not going to feel this kick at all, because all of that stuff in the thump will just disappear and be, if you're going to hear it at all on a phone, it's going to be super quiet. Or like cheap earbuds, for example, you're just never going to hear the kick. So yeah, Futura Boink. Yeah, I wish I had more to say about the drop mix, because it's, I can just tell you that something is bothering me, but I can't tell you like how to fix it, unfortunately. I think the other thing is like, especially I noticed it in the build. Like, the only thing really happening like in the far out parts of the side, like in the far field of your stereo mix, is like these risers, it's like white noise risers, and I think you just have so much space out there to add like little bits of cheering, or like whoop, or like a ba-da-da-da, or like something out there that gives this extra momentum that isn't just like a continuous because like these continuous like riser sounds and stuff are great, but especially if you go and listen to like people who are super good at build-ups, like I don't know, like Knock 2, ISOXO, like I know the trap guys, but they make really good build-ups. You have this feeling that there's like so many of these extra little things going on in the build, of like little extra things that are happening under the hood, and you know, even out to the sides, you just have like a little ba-da-dum, or a or like a fill, or something that's like adding momentum while this main thing is going on. It just adds a lot of energy, and I think you could bring some of that in here. Have that stuff also like panned out. Knock 2 and who? Knock who? Alright, so I'm gonna go take a shower and get ready for church. Alrighty, well, the video will always be here. ISOXO. Fahrenheit. Oh, let's go. We're about to get so crazy. Yeah, hopefully that is helpful, by the way. True puppy, hopefully. Alright, let's go. Ooh, it's about to get heated as hell.
Don't hunt for death, boy. It finds us all soon enough.
For 3 days and nights, it's been pushing south. 1,000 souls lost because of Necron's rage. Firekeep is next. We must attack. I need the Dragonhawks. The Dragonhawks are too few. Enough to get in with. One of us might get through. I'll destroy you. But eventually it passes beyond the river. I will have no choice. I will have to release the lava.
Oh, yo. I love his.
I will have no choice.
So good.
I'll squash you like a
Dragon Hawks.
Super cool. Super cool. I think all of this stuff works for me. Like, I like this as well. Where we go,
It finds us all soon enough.
and then we go stereo.
For 3 days and nights, it's been pushing south.
Like, I think that works great. I think it's really here when we get to like
I need the Dragon Hawk.
like here to here feels long. Like those 15 seconds now, I feel like I need something more. Because the voiceover to me, like the voiceover, I know it's like a sample, but like it feels in the context of like what they're saying and the way they're talking, it's quite monotone. Where they're just like talking about it, but the vibe is not building up to this. And so I think the building needs to be done with other things and leave that as like the constant.
Few. Enough to get in with. One of us might get through. I'll destroy you.
Because like the way they're talking is like, one of them might get in. But it's like, you know, it's not like increasing in energy at all. Never made tarot like this before? It's crazy. The vibe is not building. Yeah, I mean, sonically, the instrumentals to me staying too much the same for this part.
Souls lost because of
Although I love it. Like, I love what you're doing here. I just think it needs more spice so that this payoff hits even harder.
Dragon Hawks.
The only other thing I feel like could be cool is like, once we get down to like here. And this is just me being picky, but like you could have some stuff that's like panning through here in terms of like fills. That's doing like really fast panning oscillations.
Dragon Hawks.
But Kyok on the Pan Man a little bit today. The build should be stronger. What you could also do, by the way, is like there's two characters talking here. It would be honestly really interesting to have them panned slightly as characters. Like if you want us to like just listen to them, put us in the room with them. So give them some convolution reverb and have them actually placed. You know, you could do it binaurally if you really wanted to, but also just panning them a little bit is fine. So you get the impression that you're in between the conversation with these two. Because like,
For 3 days and nights, it's been pushing south. 1,000 souls lost because of Necron's rage. Firekeep is next. We must attack. I need the Dragon Hawks. The Dragon Hawks are too few. Enough.
because like having it panned already to the left just makes it asymmetrical. And then when you have the other character responding from the right, I think it would just feel super cool. Panning the ultimate hack, but I'm so lazy. Yeah, definitely can be annoying, but panning does a lot. There's a big difference, eh? Where's the sample from? Yeah, I am curious. Where's the sample from? Because it sounds like something from a film, but I do not have as vast a knowledge of film to know. Not vast enough to know what that's from. Bro, I really liked this. Cool, man. I'm trying to make this professional. I do really want to get somewhere with this. I might end up focusing on trap instead of metal dub. I don't know. All good, dude. Alright. Chance V1 MP3.
if I never get a chance to say sorry. You don't need to take the blame, yeah, it's on me. If you never come back, then you'll never know. Can't open up that door and it's so closed. Can't even figure out what you're waiting for, or what you're waiting for. If you give yourself another chance, then I'll do the same. Cause we've got these broken pieces that we need to erase.
Fire and ice, gotcha. El clásico. The crows? This already feels much better than last time now. This is way more atmospheric. Whoa, this is not what I was expecting. Okay, that's different. That's very different. Okay, I'm going to say something that I don't think I've said actually yet on any of the streams. Normally I say the opposite, which is this kick needs to be longer. It's too short. It's like huh, 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 which works for like a lot of stuff. You want that tung tung tung. Here we need the boom 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 boom. We need that long kick tail because you don't have like a big long sub bass here. We need that big side chain pumping thing here. That's so funny though that it's like I finally get to say the kick needs to be longer. Yeah, mate, like if you're cutting off, it sounds a bit like you're cutting the tail off of this kick. Cause it's like hoo, hoo. It sounds like it's supposed to go on longer. Just let it go boom, 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 boom. Trance kicks, that's totally fine. For this style, totally. Here, also good. The thing about this section, make it longer and then stagger these elements because you go from like this vocal drop is good. You're adding way too many drums here at the same time. Like these should, like, not every layer needs to get added separately, but like split these into 2 sections and then add one layer first that, and then the in between drums, like do it 4 bars and then another 4 bars later, or even 8 bars later, to be honest. You can add the next thing, because for trance this is too much at the same time. And then we're also adding this color thing so soon afterwards. Like, you gotta space that out. It's okay if a section is like 45 seconds long or a minute long. For trance, that's perfectly acceptable. Like, if you're a trance person, you want it to, like, you know, build and build and build, if you're adding more of these layers. Yo, what's up, Toxic Wraith? It has been a minute. How are we doing? How are we doing, man? Super cool. And then this drop, I have a feeling I like the first half of this better before, like, the last time you said to do it. Like, this bass just continuously going kind of kills the whole rhythmic elements of everything else. Like, I think it should chop with the chords. Like, this is good now. Like, this has, like, more of a sense of rhythm, but here, to me, I'm just not getting vibes out of this. The last thing I want to talk about is the strings. I think also, if you use FL Studio, just use the humanize function. It's really good to get a start, because these strings feel way too quantized. And it will make such an enormous difference when you just strum the strings. And it really doesn't need to take you more than 10 minutes. Your best bet is also to do it for a section of like 16 bars. 16 bars is kind of enough. After that, you're still getting a big benefit, but most people are not going to remember the exact way the strings were played 16 bars ago. Because it's like, the other way you could also, honestly, there's no reason to not do both of these things at the same time, but another way you can get around doing like all the individual, like altering all the MIDI stuff, is have, let's say this was, if this was in Serum, this would work really well, is make the envelope, so like the ADSR, unique for each note. Now in FL Studio, or not in FL Studio, in Serum, you can do polyphonic envelopes. You can have a unique one for each note. So you get a unique alteration for each note. I don't know how that works in like a lot of other synths, but that's why it's kind of better to just go in the MIDI and like then, even if the ADSR is the same, so the attack length is the same for each note, because they're staggered, it's just going to give a unique profile to each chord and just makes such a difference. The other thing is the vocals kind of need reverb. Like, you can hear it, but the vocal just needs to be louder and like have a little bit more of like a long reverb. What you waiting for? And then just like have the like you have so much space here. Like, go for the full atmospheric vibe and let the vocals sit in here, because it feels kind of awkward when it's too dry in an environment like this. Okay, next up, Charlie XX 360 remix, Leah's fan page. Okay. Spitfire Mass. Wait, I gotta read chat for a second. What's about first drop? Killer. So good, the last drop is something. Yeah, the last drop is crazy. Just thinking of getting Contact. Spitfire Mass. I don't think I've ever heard of Spitfire's Mass. What is that? I have to Google. Oh, I see. Cool. I will look into this later. Okay, let's go. I have no idea, to be honest. I honestly think that these acapellas from this album were released because Billie Eilish did the same thing where she released a bunch of just like clean studio acapellas, and I think Charlie XCX did the same thing. Or the production is just easy to AI stem split. Okay. The 4 and the 4 claps. Oh, I mean, this is solid. Personally, I'm still feeling that that effective, like, I've heard this all before. Like, I've heard all of these sounds. I think the way the claps hit makes the whole effect of the sidechain feel super interesting. Like, hear that. So that's definitely points for that. That feels really cool. I think the lead is a bit, I hate to say it. It's a bit generic. I might have heard this lead a few hundred times in my lifetime. So if we could get some like unique combination of layers put together for the song, that would be cool. If you like it like this, then you like it like this. I think especially for a remix, you have a lot more leeway to go for something generic, but you also have the freedom to be really experimental. I mean, you always have the freedom to be experimental, let's just be clear, but I think it lands with a wider audience when you have a really experimental remix, because you have this element of like, oh, this is something familiar that's done in a really weird way, or in a way that I'm not used to, and I like it. Kyokan XCX reference Taiga Miracle. Vocal Chops never hurt anybody. Vocal Chops have never hurt anybody. Nice thing about Vocal Chops is if you process them in a nice way and then layer them in with your vocal or have them counter each other, it just makes the lead sound better. It makes your synth lead sound more cool because it's not trying to carry the weight of like being, you know, the main melodic hook on its own, and it's being paired with vocal. Now, sometimes having a vocal chop will make it slightly obvious that your lead is white noise saw synth, which sometimes is unfortunate. But the thing is, in those situations, I would encourage you not to say, fuck the vocal chop, but just make a new lead, because it will just be better. But this is my 2 cents. Otherwise, like, this is fine. Like, it's all kind of like nice and bouncy, good Charlie XX feels into the future bound stuff. We heard this. Okay, I don't know why this is back here again. Fine. KLB, we'll come back to you later. Moo. For a second, I thought it said Mog Trap, and I would have laughed very hard. Moog Trap is into it. He also has the download open. Whoa. Definitely time for some hardware sense. Welcome back, Discontent. More Dance Dance Revolution vibes. does kind of have like Moog vibes though. It gives this like funk. Imagine if this was a bum 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 with like the 4 on the 4K. Something about this like big snare here, just like it doesn't hit for me. I would so much rather have like tonka tonka drums. If you guys like know the whole Jujutsu Kaisen memes around what's his name? I forget anyway. It's not important. There's that whole tonka tonka music. That drums in that style like would fit the song so well. Is okay. My mic's just being funny. Maybe lead into drop with a more chill sense, so the drop isn't so underwhelming. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like you don't need to like oversell like, hey, we're gonna go somewhere cool. Because the thing about this style is you want it to hit all at once, and if you just be like just like immediately in one go, get dropped into this. Like you don't need to prep the audience for this. Like build up the atmosphere so that once we get to the also with the chords in the background, I would see about changing them because they're quiet enough that it doesn't really, you don't really notice them, but they don't really add much in terms of vibes. Like everything's kind of being carried by this main sound. But I like this vibe overall. Like, go for it. All right, next up, we got a lot of repeats this week. Okay, I want to get this one. There we go. Her eyes. Don't worry about feedback. It's too late to change anything. Just enjoy. Okay. Kelly B yapping it up in chat. This is so beautiful. Yeah, no feedback is needed for this. The only thing I would have had is an idea, which is here. You have this unreal step, like this old style, like old being like this sounds like a radio vocal from, you know, or like something from a film from like the 60s or whatever. It would have been so cool to route specifically the delay. Like if you had the delay on Ascend and then routed it through a stereo instance, or like make a stereo instance with Patra of Moon Echo. Maybe have you guys heard of this plugin? Moon Echo. What is it called? Yeah, here we go. This plugin. I love this plugin so much. I haven't used it in a little bit, but this is freaking sick. And if you go into Patcher and you just like open up 2 instances of these and pan one left and pan one right, you get a stereo version of the plugin. Because it only comes in solo. But literally all it does is it's a really, really simple, complex, but free version of a simulation of what it's like to bounce a audio signal, like send an audio signal with a giant satellite to the moon and then receive it back. And it sounds so freaking unique, and it gives this perfectly dusty vibe that would sound so cool on these delays. Discontent, I'm sure you'd love this plugin because it just has this like, even literally just the moon dust sound. Wait, let me just open the plugin because it just sounds so cool. I have to share this. If FL Studio wants to open. Hey, I haven't even fully opened it and it's already trying to crash, my dude. Here we go. Yeah, let me just literally grab anything from here. Yeah. If we go here, like this is. It just occurred to me I don't have the KYK tag for all of these sounds. I forgot. Oh well. And then if I open Moon Echo, it sounds like this. Like, how cool is that? How freaking cool is that? Feedback, and then I want to just have it like that's such a cool sound. And so what would be really sick to me is if you sent this to a thing, get the delay, so just have it ping pong. Right, you've got your delay here. Take that dry off. And just go into Patcher. I can open Patcher. Here we go. Just grab a Moon Echo. Where is it? Moon. The moon. There we go. You can also like time this, like if you go through the time and just figure out what the time is for your BPM so that it goes like in actual notes, but you can also just set it to 0 for this purpose. Set the mix to 100% and then double it. And then just yeah, like fruity balance this so that it's like one is left. And one is right, and then you just let it yoink this. I don't know why I'm doing all of this, but I'm just having fun. And you let it use it. But like, I feel like that'd just be cool. Oh shoot, I'm checking that out. Dude, I need this? Yeah, exactly. Just download it, let's go. We're spreading the message. For a second, I thought that I wasn't even on FL Studio, but yeah. Wait, can you guys see when I open Patcher, or is it just like blank? No, you can. Okay, perfect. You can't see when I open the plugin itself. Just kind of annoying, but I get it. All that you know. If I make this bridge, do you see it then? Yeah. External window. Also no. Yeah, Patcher is weird. Patcher is a weird plugin. You can see the routing for it, which is all that matters. Yeah, actually, I need to put this on my Patreon because I literally forgot. I like made this and then I totally forgot to put this up. I literally made a whole ass like plugin with this. Well, not really a plugin, but more like a processing thing with this. Yeah, I totally forgot I made this. Actually, let me put this on here instead. I did so much work on this just for fun one day. But the idea was like... The idea was just to get the same vibe, but like in the background. Yeah, I will remember to put this up on Patreon this week. Because I made this ages ago and just never put it out. I don't even think you need much for it because I tried to make it with only this. You need OTT. Oh, and you need codec. That's true. That codec is kind of... And then if you have kilohertz plugins, I just need to make a note. Oh, yeah. I have notes in here. Yeah, in case anyone is interested. Okay, back to feedback. I got distracted. Hopefully that was interesting. I love codec. Codec's such a great plugin. Such a great plugin. Okay, we got some repeaters. Next one up. This is crazy. I really think I have noticed this pattern a lot when you do the melodic stuff is you do way too many unique melodies. Out of this, pick like the 2 phrases you think are the best and repeat them multiple times. Because you do this thing where you'll have like a kind of similar pattern, but it just like veers off in a way that's not like necessarily an evolution. It's just a different melody for the sake of having a different melody, so it like riffs differently. Just let it be. Like, I would rather just hear you repeat this first and then like change like voicing of the chords or something, then change the melody. Or if you want to do this A-B thing, then do this melody again. Because just you lose the through line. I'm back. Hi, back. Maybe melody doesn't feel so random. Yeah. A B C D type B. Yeah, unfortunately, it really is. But yeah, with like a consistent melody, this would be dope. Give that singular arm of yours a little rest, my dude. All right. Next up, could it be? I know. Is this from Spider-Verse? This is like Spot? Another ID, haha, any feedback would be awesome. Cool. Probably finish. What songs have you probably finished? Toxic, you're sending something in? You know, sorry, self-promo. Whoa, that's so gross. Woohoo! Yo, it was fucking awesome. That's bloody filthy. Ooh. This part is it's so simple, but it works so well after this. Because the thing is, it's so bouncy. And then you finally have this moment of like sustained tension where you're like, oh, it's so good. I think this is fine, but I would actually like slow it down. I would like make it more smooth here and like atmospheric and tense like this. Like let that tension build up a little more slowly. I think you should add some elements here with long attack times of like 200, 500 milliseconds, just to like, you know, let this whole section breathe so that when this comes in, it feels like a hard contrast, right? Because you kind of want this It's like punchy and like I'm like we. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Hopefully that's kind of helpful. Okay, send me something to work on, please. My uni ends in a month. Oh, toxic Wraith Kelly B is not something I'm ready for. You guys gotta let me know like 2 business days in advance before you do that, or my health could be in danger. Just like send me a piece of mail. It's like, guys, by the way. Yeah, hopefully that's helpful. Otherwise, like, I'd love to hear this finished. Sounds so good. Nice. This is so nice. Super cool. I mean, this is very pretty. I would say I think the arrangement is kind of letting you down here in the sense that like it's kind of just one tube, but like from start to finish feels pretty. It kind of just does this, which can be fine, but personally I think it'd be nice to have more peaks and valleys. It's like very rounded off, which I guess if you wanted something for like the background, it's like this would be nice for like a YouTube premiere, like nothing is happening yet, it's kind of just like in the background, or like in a spa, which if that's where you want us to land, that's perfectly fine, right? Because it's kind of this like slowly unfolding thing. I think arrangement wise, you could still have some like moments where it kind of like we fall to a lower state of energy, or like glide to a lower state of energy. It doesn't need to be like abrupt, but like we sort of transition from like, okay, we're kind of up here, and then we sort of calmly go back down, and then maybe we come back up later, or maybe we don't, right? But here it just feels like one line, which music to fall asleep to, yeah, kind of. All right, next up, damn, this is, I was looking at this earlier, this is quite the lineup. Toxic Wraith, Selena, Haley Steinfeld, I don't think I've heard of her, Gray, Starving featuring Zed, Toxic Wraith, oh, I see now I get it. So there's 4 of you, and then Starving with Zed mashup.
You know just what to say. Things that scare me, I should just walk away. But I can't move my feet. The more that I know you, the more I want to. Something inside me's changed. I was so much younger. I didn't know that I was starting till I tasted you. Don't need no
Oh god, am I gonna get copyrighted here? No. It happened to me on a stream a couple weeks ago, actually. It is what it is, though. Oh, nice. Ooh, what a nice transition sound. I feel like here it could land harder though.
I was so much longer yesterday. Yeah, yeah. So much longer yesterday. Oh, so much longer yesterday. Yeah, yeah. So much longer yesterday. Oh,
Baba.
I didn't know that I was starving till I tasted you. Starving till I tasted you. Yeah, till I
Da, 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 da.
starving till I tasted you.
Super, super cool. There's only one thing that I have real feedback on. There's maybe two. One is like the exit of this transition, which is so cool. It's just missing a stronger impact. Because it's like, and then it like kind of just like, it like has the breathiness of the impact, but it's missing that boom. Because the drums, like the filtered drums don't really land here. So I feel like if you're going to do that, either the drums need to come in and be like that, have energy in the drums already, or it just needs like an impact. Because the thing is, you filter up the drums to here, but I honestly think you could just drop them in here. I think you've already done enough like spacing out with the fills, but up to you. And then the other one is just like the melody here. I wonder if it would make sense to have the first part of that be the same as, because it's like a completely new melody, but I wonder if it would make sense to have the da 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 do 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 do, or like something else that like it like starts off on that da 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 do, so that it feels similar, because you're switching sounds, which is cool, but then you're also switching melodies, which makes it kind of like, in my brain I was expecting this, that ba-da-da-da, and then we got something else. So I don't know, could work, could not. I haven't been making anything like this recently, so maybe I'm just washed. I get what you mean by not having time. Like, the last month has just been brutal in terms of like now I'm working a lot, and I feel literally since March I've been working on like a single song. Now granted, the reason it's taking me so long is because I'm doing vocals for it, and doing vocals is like completely new, and so all my time has just been sucked into like doing take after take after take and experimenting and trying out new stuff. The first notes of both parts are the same, but yeah, I'll take a look. That's weird then, because in my brain it doesn't sound the same, but that's honestly more likely to be me than you. Oh, I guess it is. Huh? Why does it sound different to me then? No idea. My brain is cooked. Oh, it might be the rhythm then. It might really be the rhythm. And it's crazy how melody immediately sounds different as soon as the rhythm is changed, even if the notes are the same. How did you check that so fast? What? Oh. That's crazy. I have no idea how you got that information so fast. That's wicked. Do you have the project open or? I mean, you know, I mean, it's your melody. It's not like I'm gonna try to copy it. Surely I would never copy someone else's melody. Like, why would I ever do something like that? Okay, what did he say? Let me just. What was it? D. C sharp. Don't worry about me, guys. I'm just checking his math. There we go. There we go. That's definitely what that melody sounds like. No, I don't. I'm on my phone. He's just going off of memory. That's insane. Next, you're going to tell me you have perfect pitch as well, which would just... I'd just start crying, to be honest. Anyway, I think that's it for the stream because I am out of IDs. We're done. We're cooked. It's over. That was a good stream. Sunday streaming. And I do hope I will be able to release some new music sometime this year or do anything else this year. I mean, now that I'm working, I'm easing my financial situation, which counts for a lot, but means that I don't have time to do a whole lot of other shit, which is unfortunate. Unfortunate. I mean, feedback? I appreciate it, bro. Thanks for the stream. Thank you guys for being here and sending in stuff. Like, I really don't want to discount, like, how... Like, I certainly feel this all the time when I'm, like, sending in my work for somebody to, like, pick apart in front of other people. Like, that's, it's a lot of trust that you have to put in. Maybe not a lot. For some people, they're just like, whatever, right? I want other people to hear this anyway, but it is different from, like, sending it out to an audience than it is sending it out to, like, your peers to, like, dissect when it's not done yet. So I always appreciate that you guys are putting yourselves on the line. So something could go wrong, you know? Understandable. I think it is. I usually just send to people I know and trust. Yeah, same. Well, I just never send anything in general. But that's because I never work on anything. But now I have multiple, like, kind of finished tunes that I just haven't sent anywhere. But it's like, I don't know where I even want to send them. To be honest, there's one track that I feel like I should send to Red Ocean, just because, like, if you guys... Would you guys do D&B? Like, would you guys be open for that? Yeah, I also couldn't just drop it into every feedback stream. Because the thing is, not every feedback stream is worth your time. Bro, you're so under the rock. What? Left Red Ocean last year? Ah, I see. Interesting. Just like... Because it didn't make sense or you didn't have time for it anymore? I'm Future Eyes now. Oh, okay. Super cool. So do they accept DMP? Nah. I mean, to be fair, I was never really... particularly attached to Red Ocean. I was always more attached to you, and I just know that you were connected to them. All about the future. I guess so. I gotta hope the future is a little more exciting, you know. Because like the thing is, I finished this tune. Where is it? Like I finished this tune at like the beginning of the year. It's been ages. I just like I sent it to a couple feedback streams and they were like, "Yeah, this is cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just never gonna finish this one. Like I'm never gonna work on this more because it's just like the project is unbelievably hard on my PC and like I'm just kind of done with it." The mix is just not there. Like it's okay, but it's like still I think a unique tune. Oh yeah, that's that one. 5 months ago. Make the snare hit harder. Yeah, that's the thing. Like there's a billion things I could do. It's painful for my soul to work on this project. I've spent so many hours on it. Volume of the snare is never enough. It's like clap too. I think that's part of it. I think it should have been a snare. I'm honestly so tempted to just open the mix version, add an extra snare under it, and then just like throw it in the master like that. Now you're good. We're here for it's a feedback stream. It's perfectly natural for you guys to give feedback back to me if I show you guys something of mine. I just don't want to work on it. I don't like this vocal. Like it's okay. But at this point now, once I'm doing my own, like I probably won't do my own vocals for every single tune because I just don't have, I think, especially like right now, I don't have like the capacity to like the range to do it for every kind of production that I'll do. But like, you know, I just like this project so much more. Like compare that vocal to this. Don't get me wrong, she's like belting and doing all this fun stuff. This is boring to me. It's boring because like you're stuck like this. Here I can like do bazillions of layers and high stuff and like ad libs and it's just way better. But that's that. GoConnect's Dad collab 1. We started 3 collabs, bro. I love Moon Echo. Bro, we sent Discontent off with this plugin and he's just gonna come back with a whole entire new genre of music. You need to stop with the puns. I see. Yeah, we've started a bunch of collabs. I have one as well for him to do vocals on, and like he did do a top line on it. Like we wrote a top line on it and then we just never finished it. He's working on other stuff and like for me I was just like whatever. It was like more Harry Styles type of thing. We've talked about like going back to it. I'm sure I'll make something else at some point that he will sing on as well. Like for me that's fun. And who knows, if I keep going on with the vocal stuff, it's entirely possible we'll end up doing like some crazy though like true like equal collab in the sense that like we both do production and we both do vocals on it, which would be kind of funny. It would be kind of crazy, but we'll see. Oh, the knuckle cracks, nice. It is indeed. With that being said, I will eventually, probably not this week, actually definitely not this week because I don't have time, and probably not this coming week because I'm working the entire time and I don't have any time, but I will bring back the weekly samples because I've basically been on hiatus for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks because I just did not have time. I was literally out of my house 6 out of 7 days a week, and the day I was home I wasn't even home those last 2 weeks, so I just have 0 time. But now that things are settling in at work, I will have time again, hopefully. So we will see more samples eventually. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I had a really great time, and have a good end to your weekend, a good start to your week. Goodbye.